Camiguin Island, a small archipelago surrounded by cerulean blue waters, perfect white sand beaches, and 7 very characteristic volcanoes. Did I mention one of them is still active? Oh, good heavens me! The lands are fertile and the sunsets are said to be magical. But what else does this island have in store, you may ask? Well, I invite you to find out here today, as we go behind the scenes.
And then when I get towards the end, I'm gonna whip it. Alright guys, welcome to Camiguin Island. Right now we are on a tricycle, and today we've got a bit of a challenge with us because the sky is completely gray. As a travel filmmaker, it's always a challenge when the weather doesn't cooperate, but that will just be an extra challenge for us to overcome today. The behind the scenes. Thank you, Kuya. Room tour. What's up, guys? Welcome to the View Hotel. Probably comes out to just shy of $40 a night. Now, you're thinking about getting into travel filmmaking, and the thing that you need to know is that your beginning to the video is one of the most important parts. You need to start with something that's engaging. There needs to be some form of a hook. It could be an interesting statement. It could be a crazy little skit that you've produced, or it could be shooting it while holding onto the back of a tricycle. It's more engaging than, "Hey guys, welcome to Christian's Travel Channel." Now, your intro is actually double important because of a little something called retention rate. This is something that YouTube closely monitors. Basically, it's this. If you only have 15% of your audience left after 5 seconds of your video starting, YouTube is in no way, shape, or form going to push or share your video. It will actually be deprioritized. If you have a high retention rate, that's where you start getting suggested views. That's where it starts pushing you to the homepage. And that is where you really need to hyper focus on making things engaging, getting that old fishing hook out, and most of all, telling people why they're there. Instead of just creating a 2-minute cinematic highlight compilation of your travels through Southeast Asia that have absolutely no meaning, try to put a spin on it. Tell people why they should watch this. Are you going to be able to learn something by the end of it? Are you going to be telling your story of traveling through Southeast Asia? Just putting together a cinematic sequence just will not do it anymore. This is YouTube 2018, and what worked in 2015 no longer works. So you need to hone in on your skills, your storytelling abilities, and let's go start off our day here in Camiguin Island. Most people would just get on their motorbikes, but not us. We are travel filmmakers, and we're gonna spend the next 3 minutes shooting some B-roll. So one of my #1 tips if you're gonna make travel videos is show the travel in between. Don't just magically talk about going somewhere and then wazam, you're there. Unless it's intended. You can do cool transitions like that, but if it's just constantly like, yeah, we're gonna go here, and then you show up there, it's like, okay, but what happened in between? It's nice to film a bit of the travel. I've got this quote, feel free to quote me on it. I made it up myself. It's that travel is not about the destination, it's about the journey. Meet Alex and Betty. They are twin sisters, and they've been living in Camiguin Island for nearly 5 months now, teaching free diving out of a dive school. Right now we're going to Katibawasam Falls, and how far away is it?
6 kilometers.
6 kilometers away? And who's she?
I'm Tintin from Trevor.
Hi, Tintin.
We're having some trouble.
The front brake won't stop us from sliding.
Let me get out. Oh, babe.
When you're making travel videos, there will be a lot of things that will be out of your control. That's essentially what travel is. Today, the weather has been extremely gray, which is always a bit of a challenge when you're making a video. And in today's case, not only was it a gray sky, but it actually led to them closing the waterfall. So, unexpected challenge. What is the solution? Well, we could either come back tomorrow, or we could get our immediate results. We're gonna fly this over the walls over there to try and find that view right there. Not much luck with the waterfall, but the drone shots were beautiful, and I was actually able to get it up into the clouds. So when I brought back the drone, it was covered in water. I actually lost complete visibility at one point. We're now going 19 minutes away, according to Google Maps, to a local hot spring. We gotta be quick.
Let's go.
One of the most relevant things in all of travel is of course going to be expenses. So what I like to do is to share prices with either having titles on top of the video, or by actually recording the price on the menu or on the sign, wherever I can see it. I like to sometimes just insert it so people can see for themselves how much it would cost to have a similar experience. So it's 50 pesos per person, about $1 to get in. Wow, the water's really blue. Lukewarm springs. They're not very hot.
No, go. You look so funny.
said that if you drink from this water, you'll live to see 100. Oh, it's warmer in here. Famous hole.
So if you put your hand here,
The hot hole.
you will feel
Ooh, I can
warm
feel
water.
warmer. Today's definitely been a very short day here, but I'm excited to see more of it because it's definitely one of the more dramatic and interesting islands that I've seen already. Good morning. That doesn't sound good. Yeah! Good morning, guys. We got a bit of clear skies, and right now we're about to do what is one of the most iconic things here in Camiguin, and that is the sunken graveyard. An entire graveyard site was pushed into the ocean by a volcanic eruption. Now, one thing you may have noticed is that I just inserted 2 time lapses, one to show the passing of time at night and another to show the sunrise. Now, I actually used it because I didn't have any good footage from last night, and I didn't have any good footage to show the starting of the day. Now, how I got that footage is by story blocks. And yes, today's video is sponsored by one of my favorites. Now, if you don't already know what Storyblocks is, basically it's the ability to access footage from around the world shot by all sorts of different shooters and to be able to download it unlimitedly and use it in your projects, still be able to monetize them on YouTube or whether it be for commercial work, all while paying a relatively small subscription fee to make that happen. It's been a game changer here. It's an amazing way to fill in the gaps when you're missing footage somewhere. And one of my favorite things about their service is that once you're subscribed, it's unlimited downloads. So if you're in a position like myself and you've got a lot of videos that need a lot of cinematics and you've got a lot of missing pieces, well, this is the perfect place to be. Check out the link just down below. It's time. In total, it was 450 pesos for the 2 of us to go here with a guide. This is the cross that went underwater. This is the cross that was sent into the ocean in 1871 during the volcanic eruption, and up to this point used to be above sea level. Yeah, this audio is a lot better, right? Well, for most people, audio is one of the things they actually emphasize the least. It is one of the most underrated things that you can do for your filmmaking is to make sure that you're getting clean sound. Either use text on screen to make up for the missing information, or do a voiceover just like this. Okay guys, so the snorkeling was awesome. The visibility was really good, but the water wasn't super blue just because the sun wasn't completely out. But it seems like it's actually starting to come out, which is really exciting. I want to share something with you that's super important in making a travel video. It's not having the most expensive camera, it's not about having the most amount of cameras, it's about having the right camera. And for me today, the GoPro was the one that allowed me to share the adventures that went underwater. So that's where making sure you have the equipment that allows you to tell the story. And that's where GoPro has been so essential in my career as a travel filmmaker. It's allowed me to share things like diving, rafting, canyoneering, all those fun adventures that just cannot be possible with a big camera like this. What did you order?
A waffle.
No, just
So that's you on the cover.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
A full-time model.
Have an autograph.
These are the real full-size ones. They're like the size of her body, basically. So if you guys want to learn freediving and you're in the Philippines, Korma Dive Center, ask for the twins.
They're celebrities here.
They're celebrities,
They have a
yeah.
magazine cover.
Yeah, they've been such a great guide to the island so far. It's been amazing to see it through their eyes. One of the magic keys to a good travel video is going to be having a story arc. So introducing the problem and trying to overcome it. Well, we've just found our problem today. It is right back here. We're up at the top of one of the mountains here and our tire has popped in a very untimely place. We're gonna keep pressing on until we get to the waterfall because it's just like a few hundred meters away. We'll try to find somewhere to repair it on the way back.
I also think that a travel video shouldn't be perfect. I think whenever there is an accident or an inconvenience, it makes it real or more interesting to watch. So don't avoid to put those things on your video.
Yeah.
This is bad. This is really bad.
Gotta go slow and steady and hope the tire doesn't break. Hi, buddy.
this one is the twin.
He's a twin. Finally a benefit to hanging out with Kathy here. Discounts. He's dancing to Despacito. This waterfall is beautiful, guys. I'm surprised. I did not have such high expectations for this. If you can do it, I recommend either bringing a tripod or having a second shooter with you that can help support you in getting shots of you experiencing the landscapes. Swimming in the water, going under the waterfall, all these things help people feel more part of the video, more part of the adventure. And that's why I love to shoot Kathy, because I like being behind the camera. I can't do both. I can't be behind the camera and in front of of it.
If I stand next to that waterfall, you will see how big is it. You will not only see it in the screen, and that's what I think is very essential.
So it's time to separate our video from the rest, and one of the best ways to do that, for me at least, has been cinematics. So I want to show you what I do to make that happen. The first thing I do is I take my camera and I'm going to switch it into manual mode. I shoot automatic settings for vlogging, but for cinematics we have to go over to manual. Whether you're shooting with your cell phone, whether you're shooting with your 1DX Mark II, there's a few things that you can do to achieve similar results. First thing I want to do is, if I'm focusing on a landscape, I want to find a way to make it look like there's nobody else here. There's actually a group of people behind you. There's another photographer, there's a few kids around, and sometimes they can be nice little elements to the landscape. But typically, I'm gonna wanna try to make it look like we have this place to ourselves. Now that we're shooting in front of these people, we basically have the waterfall to ourselves. One of the best things that you can do when shooting is really just to change up the different focal lengths you're using by changing lenses, changing the zoom length if you have a zoom lens, changing your height, whether it means climbing up in a tree to get more height or crouching all the way to the ground. It gives a totally different look to what you're shooting. I'm gonna put my camera strap around my neck. I'm gonna zoom into 35 and do a slow pan. This adds points of contact to your body, allows you to be more stable in your hands. It'll definitely help you if you're planning to do any panning motion. Another great thing to play with is what is the foreground? What is the thing between your subject and the camera? If it means simply putting a fern in front of the shot, it can change the shot altogether and make it so much better. So don't be afraid to play with the positioning of the camera, get creative with it, and make something you're proud of. So something I like to do is camera whips. So if I'm following the motion of the waterfall, let's say starting from top to bottom, I'm gonna go slow and steady, and then when I get towards the end, I'm gonna whip it like that. It'll look a little something like this. As you can see, it was super simple, super easy to do. It's all done right here in hand. It's something that will help you take your shooting to the next level. What I really liked about this lens is, especially when you're at a busy area, you can really isolate what you want to shoot and you can cut out a lot of the people. Whenever I shoot cinematics, again, it's really important you use the manual settings. I like to shoot underexposed, especially with my Canon cameras. It just does a better job in the post-corrections later on when they're shot a little bit dark. Obviously, the waterfall is the main thing to look at here, but shoot the surroundings. You can tell us stories by shooting a little water droplet rolling off a leaf. That can be just as important as actually the waterfall in making somebody feel like they're part of that moment. Cinematic sequence may have seemed super effortless, but in reality that was the equivalent of about 45 minutes of capturing shots with different lenses, different angles, shooting over a few of them a couple times, and that's what you get right there. It's a lot of work to make something look really beautiful, and that didn't even include flying my drone. That would have been another 15-20 minutes if I had sent it up. But one of my tips, if you don't own a drone, if you're not traveling with one, then go over to Storyblocks and you can actually insert look-alike clips that will allow you to have a more complete story. That's something I did a lot in Dubai because it's actually legal to fly there. You can 100% own and monetize that content, so it's just completely brainless. It's such a help as a filmmaker. The bike is like fishtailing everywhere, and we have 3 kilometers until the next mechanic.
Are you doing that in purpose?
No, it's like skiing.
I feel like I'm gonna fall any second.
Wow, it's a beautiful dog. It's hot. Is it because of the flat?
Because you travel here so far.
Oh, traveling so far on a flat tire has made the tire hot. I'm not proud of this, but this was their idea. The twins so kindly gave us their scooter so that we can make it to our final destination today before the last boat leaves, which we basically have to book it there now. They're gonna wait with the scooter to get that repaired and all fixed up, and we will see them in a little bit later tonight. Thanks guys, you're the best. Are there any boats going left still?
Yes.
Yeah.
How many are you?
For 2. We made it just in time. I think we're like the last boat here leaving today. And we're going to White Island, which is about 15-20 minutes away off of Camiguin mainland. One thing I want to mention is that all my videos, whether I'm vlogging or shooting cinematics, if it's not slow motion, I'm shooting 60 frames per second. In post-production, I have the ability to half speed it and it still looks really nice. Whereas if I'd shot 30 frames per second, I don't have the ability to half speed things without making things look really choppy. But I'm always shooting in my 1080 setting. It does just fine for me.
Even with this one you can shoot 60 frames?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be a professional camera?
Yeah, that shoots 1080 60 and it looks really nice. What do you think of the island?
So beautiful.
This is White Island, and I know the microphone is just getting destroyed right now, but you need to come here late in the day. There were so many people earlier, so we're like, well, we'll come back later. Now there's maybe 3 other groups here. The most important part of any travel video, if you plan to post it on YouTube, is the thumbnail. I have had a particular photo in mind all day, and it pretty much looks something like this. This beautiful blue watered, white sanded island is perfect for a thumbnail. We made it back in one piece. When you're working on your big travel video, it's super important that you also highlight food, because for a lot of people, the food is as important as the waterfall or as the sunset. We're actually ending our trip here in Camiguin at the very same place we started it. This is Haya Hai Coffee, and it's a coffee shop of our friends actually that we met through another friend. It's a long story I won't totally get into, but it's also the reason that I met these guys. And so this is a local secret. Kathy and I had lunch here, we're having dinner here, and the food is, you gotta check it out. If you come to Camiguin, that's Aitz, the owner. Sorry she couldn't be here. I like to show not just the food, because you know, it's great to show the final product, but a big thing to restaurants is also the atmosphere. So from the minute I walk in, I like to give like an opening shot to show what it looked like the moment you walked into the restaurant. What the experience of eating it is like. That kind of thing. We're saying goodbye now. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are amazing. This is just a small glimpse of what goes into making this possible. Now, if you want to see my step-by-step process of making a travel video, one of my favorite travel vlogs I've ever made, I did an entire screen recording of the process as well as a talk through to explain to you why I'm doing certain things. And that entire course is available to you with the link down below. Whether you're using Adobe or Final Cut, this will be a game changer in helping you make the best travel videos possible, taking your cinematics and storytelling to the next level. I also wanted to give a shout out to Cebu Pacific for flying Kathy and I around the Philippines, as well as hooking up the flight back to Bali. And guys, if you're new to the channel here, a huge thank you for watching up to this point. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Join Team Get Lost, because every Saturday we have a brand new video. And as always guys, let's get lost again in the next one.